All right, from the Mike King Biz studio on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM, welcome to Virginia Sports Exchange, where sports and business intersect. Virginia Sports Exchange is a radio show and podcast where we discuss the dynamics of sports and business it creates economically for individuals in our region, interviewing those with multiple roles in athletics. I am your host, Stephen Lewis. Big thanks to the voice of RVA Business Media, Mike King, and show creator Jonathan Johnson for the platform. Follow us on IG at VA Sports Exchange and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Virginia Sports Exchange, to stay locked in with us. Today's show is sponsored by Championship Minded, Richmond's boxing promotion company. Its next boxing event, Love and War Championship Boxing at the Raceway, is coming up Saturday, February 14 at Richmond Raceway. The WBF International Cruiserweight title is on the line, and you don't want to miss Jermone Too Quick Royce, the really entertaining fighter, as the co-main event. The Main Street event was an absolute hit this past summer. You won't want to miss this one again. Visit championshipminded.com to get tickets and find out more information. Love and War Championship Boxing at Richmond Raceway. That's a perfect segue to our guest, being the former president of Richmond Raceway, Dennis Bickmeier. Dennis, what's up, man? How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. And it's good to hear that they're still using the Raceway in so many different ways.
Yes. Excited to see what happens down there this next Saturday, actually. You're in your fourth year in your current role at the Henrico Sports Entertainment Authority as executive director. How's that been? How's it going?
It's been great. It's the Sports Entertainment Authority in Henrico I still feel like we're a startup, so we're but what was great is that we were the first of our kind in Virginia.
Yes.
So Virginia, the General Assembly gave localities the opportunity to create these sports authorities through the Recreation and Facilities Act, and Henrico was the first to act on it. So it's been fun for us because it feels like we're kind of writing the playbook.
Yeah.
As we go, and to that point, we've been taking calls from other localities around Virginia, like, okay, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
How do you do it? So it's been fun to plug in with some of them and answer some of their questions.
That's awesome. A little background on our guest for those who may not know. Dennis Bickmeier has worked in several roles in professional sports: Los Angeles Angels with the MLB, Anaheim Mighty Ducks, NHL, Los Angeles Rams. We'll talk about a little bit about that. NFL with the NFL, the Big West Conference, Michigan Sports Speedway, just to name several. All right.
Sounds like I can't keep a job, but I've been out good. I've been at this for a long time.
That's right.
3.5 decades.
That's right. You're too good, man. You do your job well. So, and I just talking to you in the green room about it, man, when we were developing the show, Sports and Business, really thought about you because that's right up your alley. Obviously, like you said, 3.5 decades in the business. Why has this been a passion of yours for so long? How's it been working out?
Well, it's and I love using the words, the business of sports. That's when I go out and talk to young people, and I do that often in high schools, or I'll go out and speak to the college, sport management programs and things.
Yep.
I talk about the business of sports. We work in a fun business.
Yes.
But it's a business.
It is.
And it's big business.
That's right.
And so I think for me, it's always been about the business of sports. It hasn't been about, I need to work in a certain, I need to work for a professional team, or I need to work for a college athletic department. I never approached it that way. I love the business of sports. Yes. And all those things you rattled off, I think loving the business of sports took me down so many different avenues.
Yes.
and gave me opportunities to explore different industries within the sports business. So, and I certainly didn't see myself working in motorsports for 21
right.
years. I mean, I didn't follow it, but again, when I got into it, in the late 90s, NASCAR was just skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And it was just an interesting time to be in that particular business.
Yes.
And so again, I think my passion has always been about the business of the sport, everything that happens behind the scenes. So I think that's what's really kind of driven me.
Gotcha. Talking about the business of sports, you mentioned young people as well. That's my next one. What does it take? What are the keys for a young person that kind of sees from the outside? This looks like fun. What kind of keys and tips can you give them to get into it?
And again, I always lead with that. Like, we work in the fun business. People are like, man, you get free stuff. You get to go to games. You get to go.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Very true.
But it's a business, right? So I think really what I really try to impress upon young people is, while they're in high school, and start building your resume, and find ways to volunteer, find ways to get practical experience, use your summers. If your passion is to get in the sports industry, then find things to do when you're in high school helps you to start building that resume. Because really, when you're doing that in high school, you're really building your college application.
For sure.
If that's the path you want to take. And then when you're in college, I really do the same thing. Like, I'm a product of really good internships. So when I was at Ohio University, I ran track and cross country for a couple of years. When I got injured, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm hanging up my running shoes. But this is the business I want to work in. So I immediately started working in the sports information office at Ohio University. I wasn't getting paid, but I was in there 3 or 4 days a week. I was working football games and basketball games. I was taking stats. I was copying stats. I was helping with the media guide. Didn't matter. I was just trying to build my resume. And for me, that helped me then get into grad school in the sport management program at Ohio U, and then again, internship. So the other tip that I always like to give young people is it's a process. You got to be patient. I've had a lot of friends who were in my grad class, again, 3.5 decades ago, who didn't stick in the industry because they went back to what I said earlier. They're like, I got to work in professional golf. And when it didn't happen for them right away,
it takes time.
They gave up.
Yeah, it takes time.
So I really try to encourage patience and understand the process, but try to get as much practical experience as you can in high school and college, and then that'll give you that jumping off.
And I love while you're doing that and getting that experience, you're actually figuring out if you like it or not.
Well, that's exactly right. And I tend to look at a lot of things being a parent. Like I tend to try to look at a lot of things through my kids' eyes as well.
Yes.
Whether it's sports and participating and what they're doing. But I have a senior at Virginia Tech who has spent 4 years working for the football team, again, building that resume.
Awesome.
And again, trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like about what I'm doing. And so lessons learned, again, you're making connections. The networking thing, we cannot underestimate that at all.
Absolutely. Stephen Lewis, Virginia Sports Exchange, here with Dennis Bickmeier, Executive Director of Henrico Sports and Entertainment Authority, in the Mike King Biz Studio with ESPN Richmond. Henrico Sports Center, absolute hit. Fans, if you haven't been there, Henrico Sports Center down at the Old Virginia Center Commons location. Terrific venue. How's it been going? How things been? What are you looking forward to moving forward as well?
Yeah, the Sports and Events Center has been an absolute home run for our entire region. When you look back and you think about, this region overall has just always done such a tremendous job in sports tourism. Like, I think one of the leaders, I mean, up and down the Mid-Atlantic, certainly. But we've been killing it from, the outdoor game. And one of the things we started talking about this, like way back in 2017, when I was at the Raceway with the counties, like there's a gap in your calendar from like November to March, like what we're going through now. Like it's cold outside, let's go inside. And that vision really kind of came to life to build this indoor sports center. And that it's put us in a different kind of place to be able to bring events here. So the Sports Center specifically, one of the things that I love about it is it's the flexibility of the space. It's got 12 basketball courts that can convert to 24 volleyball courts that can convert to a 3,500 seat arena. And that arena piece has been a win for us. It's allowed us to do 804 Coaches for Change. It's allowed us to go bid on the Atlantic 10 Women's Basketball Championship. It's allowed people to bring other unique events to our community that we haven't had in a while, because Coliseum has been shut down for a while, So it's really been from a business standpoint, an economic impact standpoint, it's really just kind of put us at another level.
Did I say powerlifting?
Yeah, so that's a new event. Come on, powerlifting's coming. Like, we don't have a lot of weekends on the calendar. Like, unfortunately, these past couple weekends have been difficult because of weather. And feel terrible because some events have had to cancel. We don't have any open dates until August.
Wow.
So some events have just lost that opportunity and some kids to compete, which, is tough. But kind of good news, bad news. It's like we're busy, we don't have any open weekends for these situations where we have some weather issues and people can't travel. So, but, again, I just think that, the opportunity that building has presented for this community, and again, the economic impact it's driving is really, really strong.
Definitely. Looking back at the building of the venue, you're repurposing this mall what was the most difficult thing? Like, does anything come to mind that you remember? Like, man, this I know it's going to work, but
Well, a couple of things. So I shared this with you off air before. It's like, the original vision for this we had when I was at the Raceway, because we really wanted to talk to the county about potentially building this at the Raceway, and really to help revitalize the area. And if you haven't been by Virginia Center Commons in a while, you've seen a revitalization in that area. So the vision that we thought was going to happen has really come to life. It just came to life at a different place.
Yeah.
I think going back to your question about, maybe some of the challenges, that area is still under development. So there's 2 hotels that are under construction. There's 2 restaurants coming right outside our front door that haven't broken ground yet. There's townhomes, there's apartments. So I think one of the challenges is being the first in a new development. There's some advantages to being first, and then there's some challenges to being first too, because we're just in a constant construction zone right now. Parking's torn up, sidewalks aren't what they're going to be at the end of this construction zone. So we've had to try and navigate around being first in this development and being in a kind of a constant construction zone, which really won't finish probably for about another 2 years. So we're going to have to continue evolving. We've got to change ingress and egress plans as the development changes. We got to change parking as the development changes. But it's what we do. I mean, we'll manage our way through it. But one other quick thing I want to share about the building is, one of the things when we came in as a sports authority and kind of took over that project, that we were able to go to the county and say, look, we're building a beautiful building and a great building and a multi-purpose building, but how do we go from a little less rec center feel to a little bit more multi-purpose feel? So we were able to make some changes, like the 4-sided scoreboard, the video scoreboard.
Beautiful.
Like, some people don't realize like what the difference just in it's a scoreboard. No, 4-sided scoreboard with video. When we're going to bid on NCAA events in the A10,
very important.
That matters. That matters. The broadcast capabilities in the building are what you would see at some major arenas around the country.
Yes. The locker rooms.
Not what you would typically have in a building like that. So I really give the county a lot of praise for hearing us out, buying into that vision as well. And again, I think it's paid off, and we've been able to go out and secure some of these big events.
No question. The A10 was a hit. Coming back in March, right? March
4th through the 8th, year number 3, and they signed on for 3 more years.
Oh, nice. Awesome. My nephew plays at Randolph-Macon. He's going to miss out, but I believe the ODAC championships are coming.
Well, no. But Randolph-Macon's going to play there.
Oh, so it's a tournament.
We created it very similar to what you guys have done on the high school side. We've done one on the D3 side. And it's interesting because it's part of a strategy. So we bid with our partners at Richmond Region Tourism a few years ago on some NCAA championships. One was one that we got, the D3 Women's Volleyball Championship in 2027, but we also bid on the Men's Basketball Championship. We didn't get that one. So we started thinking about, all right, we got to get some men's basketball in there. So we sat down with Macon and created this D3 National Champions Classic. So to play in the game, you have to have been a national champion. At the D3 level.
Cool. I like that.
It doesn't exist. It's something new. So So what year is he?
He's a senior. He's a senior this year. Keyshawn, shout out KP, man. That they're ranked number 8 number 8 in the nation right now, doing well. Got a big game with Hampton Sydney coming up. But I saw that. I saw something come out like, man, KP's gonna miss out on playing on that.
And again, one of these days, we'd like to get some D1 basketball in there too. I'll share with you, like we went way down the road. We were talking, East Carolina was looking for a game. They were talking to ODU. They were talking to Virginia Tech about a neutral site game. I'm like, let's go.
That's right. Virginia, North Carolina challenge.
We're gonna keep pushing on that one too.
I like it. Speaking of keep pushing, Green City. What can you share with us now? 17,000 seat arena trying to bring here to the area. I know you had a developer and you're searching for another one. Kind of clue us in on where that is right now.
I can talk a little bit about that. We have it is an ongoing development project that we're working on. We call it Best Products Reimagined now because it's at the former Best Products site. But we sent out an RFP or an RFI, I should say, back in May to gauge interest from either arena developers or kind of mixed use developers, and got multiple responses. So first of all, we were thrilled with that.
Yep.
And then, took a long time to review those and interview the candidates. And now we've kind of narrowed that down.
Okay.
So those are some ongoing discussions with some potential development partners. That's kind of where we are right now. There's a little bit of news that came out a week or so ago about the county's filed plans to demolish the Best Products building that's on site.
Okay.
I look at that as that's a step,
Progress.
And I keep talking about process.
Yep.
To do a development this big is a process. I mean, look at what our friends at the Squirrels are doing at Carmax Park, and certainly the years that it took to get there, but once they got there, again, just to get through design and all those things. So what I would tell our community is stay tuned. We're working it hard, and we hope to be able to, hopefully have some announcements maybe the back half of this year or something like that. But we're working hard. I can assure you that.
Also, now you're talking about major college basketball. We're definitely getting something.
Well,
get something
and
like
thank
that
you.
right?
Yeah, and thank you for saying that, because it's all these things are interconnected in some way. So we've talked a lot about the Sports and Events Center. The NCA, when we go with our partners at Richmond Region Tourism to like the championship meetings, one of the things that we've heard that they say to all of the localities, all the cities that are bidding on stuff, if you want our big fish, Division I, men's and women's, you got to take some of our small fish too, some of our smaller championships. Well, we can say we've done that now. We got the NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball Championship. We are going to make a run at the D3 Men's Basketball Championship again. Those bids open in August. We're going to make a run at that. So now what we're doing is we're building a reputation in the NCAA.
You're doing A10. You got the A10.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So now they're like, okay, this greater Richmond community, they've got venues, they've got a volunteer base, they got a local organizing committee, they got companies that are supporting. Like, we need everyone. Like, the hospitality community in our area have really bought in. Thank you. To sports tourism. That's what we need. Yeah. We're building that reputation. So all these things really do align.
For sure. I mean, you mentioned Carmax Park. I mean, how exciting is it? I mean, you have that new facility going up. Once we get Green City, it will happen. I know you're stickler. You're going to get it done. Green City comes from Henrico Sports Center. Like, now, all of a sudden, Richmond has turned into a location for sports tourism. Like,
absolutely. And you look at that I-95 corridor where all these things are located. Carmax Park's not far off, and that 95-64 merger. The sports center's at the 95-295 merger. Yeah. The Best Product site is right off I-95 at Parham Road. And we've created this, we call it a sports tourism corridor, is what we always refer to it as. And it truly is, because you can't, if you're traveling up and down I-95, you can't miss this. You're not going to miss this, right? So, which is great. And I think it gives us a little bit of a competitive advantage as well, where as much as we all complain about I-95, it is a win for us.
It is. It's a major thoroughly.
Yeah.
I mean,
people know where to find us.
That's right. Stephen Lewis, Virginia Sports Exchange, here with Dennis Bickmeier, Executive Director of Henrico Sports and Entertainment Authority, in the Mike King Biz Studio, ESPN Richmond. Got something in common as well. We got the kids in sports. We also hold degrees in journalism and sports management. You have your own podcast as well, Showtime all the time. I know you've had fun with that. Almost 20 episodes in, I think.
Something like that.
So talk about that. How fun that's been for you.
It's more difficult on that side of the mic than it is on this side of the mic. I can tell you that. So all my career of answering questions, it's not as easy asking the questions, is it? So
it's not.
But it's been fun. I mean, we use it as an opportunity to get the word out about things that are happening in the county from a sports tourism standpoint, and then give our partners an opportunity to come in and promote their events. So whether it's the A10 or other events, and got to get you on there and stuff like that. I got to return the favor.
Yeah, please.
So, but yeah, I just think it's again, I keep going back to this because I do talk to a lot of school groups and everything. Our business from a media standpoint, again, both being journalism majors, has changed. Yes. Right. Newspaper industry's changed. The TV industry has changed locally. I mean, think about our TV stations here. CBS 6 continue to do a tremendous job of covering sports. Yes. NBC 12 has moved away from that. They still cover sports, but they don't have someone dedicated to it full time.
Correct.
It's just a business decision that they've made.
Yep.
Channel 8 went away from it, came back to it.
Yep.
So, and I say all that because we need our traditional media. Like, we need them to come cover our events, and we appreciate what they do in covering our events, and they get pulled in a lot of directions. But what that's done for all of us in the sports industry, we've also had the transition and be content creators as well.
Yes.
Podcasts is an example of that.
Yes.
So you see your favorite pro team, your favorite college team, like, they are their own news bureau now.
Yes.
They are continuously putting content out there.
For sure.
So again, that's one of those things that's changed in our business in the time that I've been in it.
Makes sense. Told you to go back to NFL. Super Bowl is ahead. Unfortunately, your Rams got knocked out. Seattle played great. I mean, great football. The Rams hung in there. So, do you still follow the NFL? Do you still have some buddies with the Rams?
All of the above.
Really?
Man.
Okay.
All of the above.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a lot of people that I've worked with early on, off with other teams and stuff. But I'm a born and raised Steelers fan, so I grew up about an hour from Pittsburgh. So
Ohio, that's right.
Certainly certainly in the glory days of winning those Super Bowls. In the 70s and 80s, and some of those Chuck Noll teams were absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I certainly follow the NFL. So in my house, my wife's from Massachusetts, so obviously she's a Patriots fan.
There you go.
I'm there to watch a good game.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we are a sports family.
Yeah.
My wife worked in the industry for a long time as well.
Okay.
So our kids have grown up around it. And we talk sports. We follow a lot of different sports. It's a lot of variety, and it's been fun as they've gotten older to see how much the path that they take,
where they
and
go,
what athletes they like, and what sports they like, and things like that. And got a family fantasy football league this year with some other family friends and stuff. So yeah, we're in it, man, nonstop.
Love it. So Pittsburgh, to stay on the NFL, Mike McCarthy. What do you think about the hire? Were you surprised?
I was surprised. I thought one of the young coordinators out there would be the next 20-year coach, because that's the Steelers' history.
That's what they do.
So then when you hire Mike McCarthy, who's been in the league for a long time, I don't know how long he wants to coach. He's in his 60s, I think. And coach into your 70s. If you can do it. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. I mean, that's I'll start there. But I've gotten to know his story over like the last 10 days or so, and I'm like, all right,
pretty good.
All right, I can, let's see what we can do here. I do think, and I hope, that there's somebody on the staff that can be the heir apparent, that can, be that understudy. And then when he does say he's done, or if a change has to, there's some kind of smooth transition. Again, that's kind of that Steelers history of just stability.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes.
Do you think they did that to keep Aaron Rodgers around?
I don't know, man. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I'm like, I got Will Howard, put Will Howard in.
Yeah, that's right.
But we'll see. I don't know. Again, Aaron Rodgers at 43 next year.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, are they trying to keep it around and think they're that close to getting it done? I don't know. I'm a big NFL guy too. I'm a Raiders fan. Unfortunately, we've been terrible.
3 coaches in 3 years, man. That's
I think the Browns and the Raiders are about the top in terms of coaching changes. But hopefully, Clint Kubiak, a young coordinator, as you talked about, will turn around. I'm assuming they're going to get Fernando Mendoza in there, and you got a quarterback, you got a coach. We'll go from there.
That's right.
Anything that you want to add that I've missed that you want to say about the Sports Authority or your journey or anything like that? We got a few more minutes.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about my career, and again, just to encourage the young people out there that this is it's a great industry to work in, and I hope that we can pull off an arena deal, and that again, our hope is to bring a minor league hockey team here, and with what the Squirrels have going on at Carmax Park and our universities that are on it. And I say all that because, again, I think if you're a young person, there's going to be some opportunities to work in the business of sports here that didn't exist 10 years ago, maybe.
Yep.
And I hope we can pull that off for the next generation, because I'm looking for my off ramp, man. Where's my off ramp? So I want to do everything I can to help train up the next group of professionals that take over the sports industry here in the Richmond area. So I think for me, it's a passion for me to, just like when you invited me to speak on a panel a couple years ago, and just again the opportunity to share stories and again, if we can get some interest from young people that like, I'm going to give this a try as from a career standpoint. And here's one other quick thing that I always love to tell young people is, a lot of people think that they got to get into maybe ticket sales or sponsorship sales, and those are big pieces of our business.
Helpful.
But that's not the only thing that's out there. Go find your favorite pro team and go look at their staffing schedule.
Long Rolodex.
Like when I worked for the Rams, we may have had 25 people. There are probably 250 people that work for the Rams now.
Yeah.
So if you like finance, there's a job for you.
That's right.
If you like HR, there's a job for it. If you want to be a lawyer, there's a job for you in sports. So I really try to make sure that I impress upon that as well, because a lot of people think, oh man, I gotta go through the marketing route, or I gotta go through the sales route, or whatever. And if that's your passion, then great. Yeah, there's a lot of avenues. Right. I just talked about one: content creation.
Yes.
Analytics,
big stats. Yes.
Huge job opportunities in our business.
Video,
so that's my PSA about a career in sports. How's that?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dennis. I really appreciate this. Been waiting to have you on, man. Like I said, business and sports. Well, I thought about that. I thought about you, man. So thank you so much for what you do for the area and coming on the show. That's another one in the books. Virginia Sports Exchange, Stephen Lewis. We will see you next time.